Welcome to Alphabet City. This is a show where we cover everything related to Alphabet.
What's Alphabet?
Alphabet owns lots of companies, most notably Google.
Oh.
Google's behind all kinds of things like Android, YouTube, Pixels, and everyone's favorite thing ever, Google+.
I knew that.
I'm your guide, Ayaz Akhtar, and you're a wizard, Harry. Today, we've got a lot of catching up to do. We'll talk about messages on the web, podcasts, and Google Home, but our top story is a new phone. First stop, Android Avenue. We publish new episodes on Tuesdays. So what did Oppo do last Tuesday? It introduced a new phone that has virtually no bezel. Say hello to the Oppo Find X. The front and rear cameras on the device rise out of the body. It's a really neat looking trick. How sturdy do you think that mechanism is? Do you think it'll survive a fall? Let me know in the comments. Inside the Find X, you'll also find a Snapdragon 845 processor, 8 GB of RAM, and up to 256 GB of storage. The Find X is running Oppo's Color OS on top of Android, which is kind of iOS-like. You won't find a fingerprint sensor on the device or in the device. There is no fingerprint sensor on the Find X. Unlocking it will require using the front-facing camera for 3D face scanning. Oppo calls their facial recognition, and I'm not making this up, O-Face. I'd imagine you'd also be able to use a passcode if you don't want to use O-Face. The Find X is on sale in China right now and heads to North America and Europe in August for around $1,100. Next stop, Play Plaza. There's a new podcast app in town and it's called Google Podcasts. If you've ever used a podcast app before, you'll likely be right at home with Google Podcasts. The app is kind of bare. That's the wrong kind of bare. When you load it up, you see several rows with top podcasts in certain categories. If you don't see a show you're looking for in those rows, you can always search. If you start listening to a show on your phone and want to continue on your Google Home, you'll be able to do that. Podcasts are synced up using Assistant. More Google Play stuff ahead. Google introduced Messages for the web. If you head on over to messages.android.com, you might be able to link your phone to your computer. Google lays out the 3-step process on the site. Open up Messages on your phone. Tap the More Options menu, select Messages for Web, and scan the code with your phone. Then you should be able to send and receive text right from your laptop. Google officially announced Messages for Web on the 18th of June and said it will be rolling out around the time this episode is published. Next up, Home Highlands. Let's talk about Google Home. There's a new feature available called Continued Conversation. It lets you keep talking to Assistant without having to use the Google wait phrase again and again for follow-ups. It's opt-in, so don't worry about Google listening to you more so than normal. You can turn on Continued Conversations in the Google Assistant or Google Home app under Preferences. Assistant will keep the mic open after responses to listen for follow-up questions. You can have Assistant stop listening to you by saying thank you or stop. If Assistant hears no follow-ups, it will turn off the mic after 8 seconds. Last stop, Comment Code. This is the part of the show where we shine a spotlight on the best audience in the world, except that one guy. Boxer Test says, talk about the Oppo Find X. We hope the first segment addressed that, Mr. Test. Luke Taylor says, the backlash against the Samsung Chromebook Plus V2 has been pretty widespread from what I've seen, due to the screen being downgraded, as well as the USB layout being shifted. He went on to say, and since camera software on Chrome OS is still terrible, the addition of those cameras really doesn't add anything just yet. Thanks for that comment, Luke. It really gives us some context to the Chromebook Plus V2. And thanks to everyone for writing in the comments. That does it for us. If you've enjoyed your stay in Alphabet City, remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell if you want notifications when we add new episodes. Spoiler, it's usually every Tuesday. Oppo.
I knew that.
I'm Ayaz Akhtar, and I'll see you online. We've got to stop meeting like this. All right, I'll give you one more bit of information. A new rumor from ET News says there will be 3 different Samsung Galaxy S10 models. One would have 1 rear camera, the other 2, and the third, 3 rear cameras. Do you believe ET News on this one? Seems a little strange.